In closing, as I said, this debate and this forum is bigger, and this race is bigger than each and any one of us. It's bigger than the endorsements we may have garnered. It's bigger than the different bases of support that we come from. At the end of the day, it's each of the one of us that you see here on stage who's going to have to stand up to Alan Grayson, and who's going to have to confront him and face him and challenge him and take each and every one of our hopes and aspirations to that stage and then take them to DC. I thank you all for your friendship. I thank you all for your support. I've been in this race for over a year. I've had the privilege and honor of meeting each and every one of you, sitting in your living rooms, answering your questions and sharing your concerns. And I found that this is a humbling experience. That running for Congress is all about learning about what the people have and what the people are concerned about, and taking that to DC. And what I found is that we're concerned about a government that's run amok. We are concerned about debt. We are concerned about deficits. We are concerned about the erosion of American opportunity for each and every one of our subsequent generations. When you boil everything down, that's why I'm running for Congress. I have two young sons, an 8-month-old and a 22-month-old, and I'm deeply concerned about the opportunities that my generation is going to leave for them. And that's why I'm running, because every generation of Americans, from the Mayflower to this day, has had that basic promise that if you work hard, if you fight for what you believe in, if you fight for your dreams, then you too will have that piece of the American pie and have that dream. But that hasn't been the case. That hasn't been the case for the past 5 years. That hasn't been the case under this administration. That hasn't been the case under this Congress. And that certainly hasn't been the case with the representation that we have in this district. As I said very early on, this is about who can best take that fight to Alan Grayson and who can best take that fight for each and every one of us in Washington, D.C. I thank you all for your friendship and your support. God bless you.
Thank you. I know that all of you understand that this is going to be a hard-fought campaign. But fortunately, the differences between Alan Grayson and myself are plentiful. In record, in views, in substance, most definitely in character and in style. And we're going to have to take back this seat. And it's going to take all of us to do it. To catch you up on the campaign, I am fortunate to have some very good endorsements, and I was happy to share Representative Mike LaRosa with you tonight. You can read it on my website tomorrow. But I've been endorsed by former Governor Jeb Bush. And yes, for all of you that are wondering, we're going to have quite a few discussions about Common Core. And I have been endorsed by former Congressman Dave Weldon, and I've been endorsed by former Senator and Florida Ag Commissioner Charlie Bronson. And they've been rolled out first because they won historic races in this district, just like mine. And I shared that with you because I have been fortunate to earn their trust, and I want to earn your trust and your vote. That's a broad spectrum of the opinions of the Republican Party. And yes, we do have broad opinions. And I feel lucky to be able to place their vote. I've been endorsed by the National Cattlemen's Beef Association and the Florida Farm Bureau FedPAC, by the Sugarcane Growers Cooperative of Florida, and by TomPAC, which is headed up by former NRCC Chair Tom Reynolds and 36-year Congressman from upstate New York. Now, for a Southern girl, that's a nice thing, to have someone from upstate believe in you as well. But you have to build strong coalitions in order to get anything done. And that's what I'm going there to do. I don't have any other reason but to get the job done. And I hope that you will stand with me and let's go fight for it. And let's take this district back. And let's serve the people here, right here in District 9, each and every one. Thank you.
Once again, I appreciate the invitation of being here today. I also appreciate Jorge and Carol for them being here and spending their time with us this evening. I will tell you that I have some endorsements, but I think the biggest endorsement I have is the people that I've served over the last 25 years here in Central Florida. Not just as a youth pastor, but we have just over 100 churches, Hispanic, conservative, evangelical, who, believe it or not, in the last election allowed Grayson to step up on their stage and speak to their people. They were blinded. They were told the story of what Grayson can do for them. Well, that day has dried up and gone away. Many of these evangelical ministers and pastors and leaders in the community understand who I am. They've seen my family. They've seen what I've done to help them in their different phases. So we have a good foundation of folks. This race is not going to be easy. You've heard it time and time again. So what makes the difference? Well, I myself as well was born in Brooklyn, New York, in Bay Ridge. So I know what it takes. And if you want to get the Puerto Rican side out of me, that even makes it worse. Because there is a fighter in me. There's a fighter that when he needs to speak, he speaks clearly. And I believe for this time, for such a time as this, I'm the candidate that can defeat Alan Grayson. We're going to have a tough race after this primary. We know that it's a majority Democratic district, but I also know that majority Democratic district is a Hispanic district, one that I've served for many years, in different capacities. I've worked with Democrats out there, trust me. There's not much they can say about me, because the fact is, I serve the people. I need you to understand that this election is key, and it is winnable. It is a very winnable race. You may hear pundits out there, I read it all the time, they say, this race, nobody's going to put any money in, because it doesn't matter, Grace is going to run away with it. Well, I have a different story. I think we're going to see the repeat of what happened with Webster. I believe that with the help of you, of each and every one of you, the help of our community, that we're going to be able to take a message that transcends culture, language, and everything else to make sure that Grayson doesn't represent the 9th District ever again. Thank you for your time.